Hello, happy Sunday. I hope you've had a good weekend. Today we're going to sort of talk about, because we're talking about sort of the loving we, the couples, and how you can have, oh, look at my hair, it's awesome. We've just been down to the beach, so I'm a little bit windswept and interesting. So, being that aside, I want to sort of talk about, a lot of us fall into relationships that we want a good one, but we don't really know how to have a good one. And that's what my thoughts were when I first left home at 15. It's sort of like relationships. How do you have a good one? What does it mean to have a good one? What does it look like? What does it feel like? How do I know whether I'm doing it right or anything like this? And so I don't think I'm the only one who thinks that. I'm sure all of us sort of have sort of wondered, if we've never seen a good relationship, just what does it look like? Well, even in our first years of marriage, there was issues. We didn't all of a sudden have a happy marriage. We had mostly a good sort of relationship, but there was sort of times when we misunderstood each other, which then caused him to turn away from me to turn away from him, because we didn't understand how to resolve these issues of our feelings being what we perceived as threatened. There was also times when being brought up in a very dysfunctional sort of family, some of that would come into play, that when David sometimes gave me a hug, I would freeze up, and fear would come in, and we'd have to get over that kind of fear, because for him, if he didn't have that strong sense of self that he started learning, he had to grow one pretty fast, because every time I froze, it was almost like I was rejecting him, which I wasn't. It was just sort of something that that happened on an automatic kind of my fight and flight and freeze. So I would just curl up in absolute fear, which then I had to get over that, because I realized then that David was a safe place, and he wasn't going to hurt me. So in all our talking and everything like this, it became important as to what a healthy relationship looks like. So I've just jotted down a couple of things, and I would love your help with this as well. Is that in the comment section, PM me if you don't want to sort of share your thoughts with the greater population, but share with me and by PM me, personal message me. Is what's your idea? And what's your thoughts on what a healthy relationship looks like, maybe feels like, and maybe if you're in one, and then just a reflection thought of what can you do to get into that healthy relationship that you are wanting. So here's what I've come up with, and what we've experienced as well. And after 30 years of being in marriage with David, we've got this. And it wasn't with any fluke or luck. It wasn't with that we worked on it. It was the fact that we just wanted to have our relationship to be fun and amazing and enjoy each other's company. So let me bring down let me tell you what I've written down. So what does a healthy relationship look like? So the first one is that your relationship should bring out the best in us rather than the worst. When you're inside the relationship and next to or in the presence of your partner, you should be able to feel good about ourselves and feel good about who you are as a person. There's a definite balance and a comfortable balance between give and take. So it's not always I'm giving or he's giving and one of us are taking. It's a balance. It's a balance that, if I don't get my way this time, I'll get it next time. So it is that comfort and a balance of give and take. That we enjoy being together. I mean, that's vital, that we just love hanging out. That we not only love each other in that sort of technical term, but we like them. We like them as a person. We like who they are as their own unique individual. The other one is that we're able to resolve issues that are raised through the conflict. So conflict is almost an outward behavior or an outward expression of a threatened inner emotion. So being able to recognize that and then resolve the issue of what emotion is being threatened and how can we solve it so it doesn't happen again. Because if conflict is not resolved, it will then just come back the next time you have a fight, 6 months, 12 months, till 2 or 3 years later, and you're still bringing it up because there's never been any resolution. We have the freedom and we feel safe to express our thoughts and our feelings. And that's a big one. When you feel that when you're being vulnerable and you're open to giving your thoughts and your feelings, you want that to be, one, a safe place so they're not going to attack you for it or use it against you in somehow, but you have the freedom to be able to do that. So freedom and safety to be able to express your thoughts and your feelings and being respected that you have your own individual thoughts and feelings that may be different from your partner's. And perhaps the last one is that we can grow individually and as a couple. So growth and change is not only encouraged, but it's also celebrated. That if we grow to become the best version of ourselves and therefore in our relationship, then that should be encouraged and celebrated. So there's some of the ones that I've sort of jotted down for me that sort of happened. So I'm now curious, what does a healthy relationship look like for you? And if you're able to, just put it in the comments or PM me. So have the rest of an amazing Sunday, and I look forward to speaking with you tomorrow. Same time, 12:30, same back channel. Bye now.